Hello, Fide parents. Welcome to this short video where we are going to go over our heart and soul lesson on sin. Hello, Fide parents, and welcome to this short video where we are going to go over our heart and soul lesson on confession. All right. As we talked about in the parent packet, we are starting these new lesson series to kind of help you as a parent talk to your kids about the faith more. At a more kid-friendly level, but also have all the materials and all that, all the ways you can talk to your kids about the faith ready for you, whether it's through projects, watching videos, doing activities. They're going to be in here. So we've got the best resources we have from the Heart and Soul packet and put it into here for the kids so that you can utilize this in the best way possible, in the most efficient way possible. All right. So let's just jump into this really quick so you know what's coming on in this lesson on confession. First off, as we mentioned in the video in the parent packet, each lesson is broken up into 3 lessons. All right, so each unit is broken up into 3 lessons. This one is broken up into, the first lesson is on what is sin. Second lesson is what is mortal and venial sin. All right, so you have that distinction there, which ones you need to confess. And then the last one is on confession itself. All right. So that's the way. That's the way we're going. We're going to start with sin, different types of sin, and then how to get rid of those sins. All right. Great. So the first thing we want to do is again revisit what these symbols mean. All right. So you have the symbols of discussion. You have the symbols of doing a project, all right, symbols of watching a video, and symbols for creating, and symbols for diving deeper, all right, and those will be throughout the whole lesson, all right. You should have these accessible, all right. Just to go quickly over what each one means. Discussion is when you're going to be talking to your kids about it, right? It's a talking point. It's asking them questions to kind of get their minds thinking about the topic, all right. Doing is going to be a hands-on activity. All right, where you're actually doing some type of either reading scripture or acting out something. It's more of a very active role. All right, obviously watching a video. All right, there may be discussion questions after the video, and then creating is a project. All right, a hands-on activity that you're going to be doing to kind of manifest what the topic is you're talking about. All right, and then the diving deeper section is just additional resources in case you want to go deeper into the topic. All right. Also, at the end of each unit, all right. So after all 3 lessons are done, there will be a comprehensive assessment. All right. So questions to ask your kids to make sure they understand everything, and whatever they don't understand, go back and revisit it and talk about it and help them understand it. All right. Again, this is not a test. This is not a oh, you pass fail. No, it's helping them understand. And that may go fast for some kids, slow for other kids. It all depends on your family. All right, so nothing to worry about there. All right. Every lesson will start with objective, and then you'll go. Each lesson will also have supplies. All right, supplies listed of what you need for that lesson. Most of the time, the supplies will be provided. All right, as long as it's little things. But things like if you need a plate, all right, we won't be providing those. But if it requires a balloon, yeah, we'll provide the balloon. If it requires like popsicle sticks or something like that, we'll provide those things. Also, the handouts will be provided. So anything that needs to be printed, we can provide here. It'll be in the back of the church or in the office. So feel free to come by and pick those up. We are creating a Fide table in the back of the church for you to pick up these items. All right. Then you'll begin by, for this lesson specifically, you're starting with a discussion to kind of see where your kids are and understanding what sin is. Right, so you're really just asking them, like, do you know what sin is? Right, and different questions about that, so they can understand, come to understand what sin is. All right, then watch a video on concupiscence, which I created. So please feel free to contact me if you think those videos are need to go in a different format. All right, if I need to explain it more simply or explain it, less simply. All right, just let me know how those are going. Different projects. Let's just go over some of the dues. So dues for these, for especially for middle school, will mainly be Bible studies. All right, so you're going to go over some section of scripture and talk about it with your kids and try to understand what the scripture is saying. There is an activity, all right, that's kind of connected to the Bible passage. All right, so it's 2 dues back to back, and this one's called the narrow path activity. All right, where you create a line and your kids are going to be holding books, or you'll be stacking books on your kids' hands, which is going to make it harder for them to stay in line, stay in the narrow path. All right, so they see how sin affects our path towards heaven, all right, and how we need to get rid of it so we can stay on the narrow path towards heaven, on that path towards heaven. All right, so that the instructions will be in there on the link. Also, they'll be in as a handout inside the packets. All right, then you have the diving deeper section. Lesson 2 is very similar. All right. In fact, the only thing I'm going to go over for lesson 2 is the worksheet. So that's a little different. So I will be providing them a worksheet, which is just a way for them to look at which one's a mortal sin, which one's not, and kind of distinguishing between the two. All right, so they could put it into practice. Like they get examples of like, oh, would this scenario, would this be a mortal sin or a venial sin? All right, and they have to answer the question. You can help them answer it too. All right, because some of these are kind of hard. All right, so it's good for practice, so they can start recognizing what is a mortal sin, what's a venial sin, what needs to be confessed, what doesn't need to confess. Please watch the videos because they talk about like how the importance of how do you get rid of mortal sin, how do you get rid of venial sin, and those are important to know, especially going into confession. All right. Lesson 3 is confession itself. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty much the same as the rest. Diving deeper section is going to be a little bigger there because it's going deeper into the topic. Then at the end, afterwards, you'll find the end of unit assessment, which is just a series of questions from each lesson, just to make sure they understood what was going on. Basically, some of it's repetitive. So again, go through it. If they don't know it, go back, talk to them about it. The answers are in green here, all right? So you have the question in bold black, and the answer will be in parentheses right next to it in green. All right, and then lastly, and this will be a fun thing to do, all right, is a family challenge. All right, so each lesson is going to end with a family challenge. And for this one is, as they finish this topic, they're going to know, what sin is. They're going to examine their consciences. They're going to know that confession is the way to get out of that sin. All right, so the first challenge is really take them to confession at the moment, so they're not thinking about these sins, but going to the place where they can get rid of them. All right, so try to go to confession as a family right after these lessons. All right, I encourage by the end of the month, try to go to confession. All right, again, I'm not forcing anyone to do this. This is up to you. But if we want to start practicing the faith together, and start learning the faith together as a family, it's good to just put this challenge into practice. All right. Second challenge would be if you're not already, try to start going to try to make a schedule. All right. Of okay, we are going to confession every month as a family, once a month, or every 6 weeks. Try not to go above 2 months because the bishops don't suggest that. The bishops suggest that we do at least once a month. All right. The church only requires once a year, but we want to try to get it to once a month. And it's good that your kids see that frequently, so that when they are away from you, go to college, they already had that habit in their mind. They know, like, okay, confession is part of my life. I need to continue doing it. All right. Well, that's basically it for these for this lesson, for this unit. Please let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to email me or call me in the office, or just stop by. I am here to help in any way possible. Have a good day, and God bless.